Hey guys, it's Ria here. I'm like, I don't know, heading towards the middle of a run. And you know, when I go running, I enter the portal to my heart. I enter that communication, a higher self, God's self with myself. And I felt really, really compelled and inclined to share something really, really important with you guys. And it has directly to do with my run. So it makes sense that I'm guided to do this message. And it's to do with fear. You know, fear comes up a lot, and not just in doubt, but fear. And I just wanted to share a little story with you, a true story that has my greatest fear as a kid, like let's say late 70s, extremely early 80s. You know, when there used to be threats of Third World War and the Cold War and nuclear stuff. And also at that time, there was a lot of Nostradamus predictions. And as a little girl, sort of little, 9-ish, 10-ish years old, and overhearing my dad and mom speaking in the kitchen about that kind of stuff, I was terrified. I was scared to death. And I'll let this car go by. You guys can enjoy the scenery. I was scared to death and overwhelmed with fear. And I was so afraid that every time I heard a plane going over the house, I was so scared. I was so scared that it was actually like a bomber or something. And I have tons and tons of dreams, even as an adult, being attacked and stuff. So I'm sure without a doubt, I do have an alternate reality, a timeline where I do experience that destruction and devastation and that kind of thing. But because I have experienced that, I believe it's the very energy that I've come to illuminate and transcend with pure love and light. And you could say, well, geez, what are you going to do about it? But it's our connection to our God self, that purity and that innocence of the heart. I'm okay. He thought I was crossing. I'm standing on the ledge of a road here, guys. We all can partake in that. So I was also brought up very religious, as you guys know, in the Catholic religion. And I also during that time was taught Judgment Day, the end was coming. So I had all these intense fears around me. And I was taught that Jesus' second coming was coming. He actually was going to be birthed. There was going to be a judgment. The world was going to burn. And you know, all those really scary things. And you know, as a child, things are even magnified greater. And as a little kid, carrying that energy, but it propelled me. I would pray. I begged. Like, I can see the beauty in it. As a little kid, I begged Jesus to come and save the world. I couldn't understand why people would want to destroy Mother Earth. Even as a little kid, I had that connection. And I felt extremely connected. And I'm like, how? It baffled me. How could people do this to each other? How could they destroy the beautiful earth and world? Well, that was my greatest fear, and that really did catapult me and cause me to tune within, cause me to trust, cause me to grow spiritually, and to find the truth of the situation. And you guys know how I run, and I'm really connected when I run, and you know how I see those hearts? Well, it was because of that very energy way back then when I was little. It's the very fear I came to transcend, to create a different world that was causing the fear and that was being projected on me. Even though I was just a little girl and I'm just a single individual, my connection to the heart and the love and the innocence and the beauty of Mother Earth has such power. And yeah, there's still those individuals that might experience that, but I have the power to shift and create the reality that aligns to that purity of heart, to that innocence, to that just pure love in that little girl's heart. And that is why I connect to Mother Earth. That's why I receive my messages from Mother Earth. You know, all those hearts that I see, they are like Mother Earth reciprocating, knowing my heart truly is one, because I begged as a child for the earth to be sustained and stay beautiful, and how much I loved it. And so she speaks to me because of that love and that connection that I established when I was little. And it's not just when I was little. I'm sure it has goes to many lifetimes. Like, let me just show you guys real quick here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, I can't flip it when I'm on a live. But anyways, I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see that little heart right there in the stone? I don't know if you guys can see that. Just just the simple things like this, guys, these little signs, these little symbols shows that connection of love. And my point of this video is whatever terrifies you, whatever has brought forth the greatest fear, the greatest like confusion, disturbance, all of that kind of stuff, that is the very thing that you have come to infuse with your love in your heart, because you want a different outcome. You want a different situation. You want a different world. And I'm just sharing that with you, that fear is actually your friend. It is like your ally in your teammate almost, in fulfilling your purpose and destiny. I know I came to enjoy a beautiful world. And so also since then, since I was a little kid, my goal has always to been heaven on earth, because we're always taught heaven on earth. And if you watch Jesus stories, as you guys know, Jesus always says the time is now, and you have come to do what I have done and greater. So that empowered me, and I trusted and I clung to that. And as I grew in my spirituality, I realized he wasn't coming as a physical human. He was coming through us, through Christ consciousness, through the love in our heart. And it's through our hearts, guys, that Christ consciousness does come. And you have all the power. You've got all the power of Christ consciousness within you, guys. And whatever that greatest fear is, whatever scared you to death as a kid, if you look back, you probably find the threads and the ties and the connections to what you're going through as an adult. And obviously within that main fear, there's also other little, other fears, little strings that are connected. Like to me, it could be self-doubt, not having a voice, not thinking I'm heard, not thinking what I have to say is important. So then you have all these other little mini things that are attached to the major fear. It's almost like you got this hole, this black fear, this hole you don't know what to do with. But then you get these other little strings also that you've got to overcome, which I call the rings of fire, that you have to overcome to penetrate that fear. And what's the other side of fear, guys? Always, it's pure love. So I'm just sharing that. That connection, and I know many of you relate to that connection to Mother Earth, and you can't understand why people would do what they do, but that is the very thing you've come to transcend. And you do have the power, even through little ways, through like, not through judgment and not through criticism, but like my little video that I did a month or so ago on garbage. You can like get really pissed and mad, but find the love in it. And when you find the love, that's how you transmute it. You change through love, not through weapons and fighting. You change through the emittance and connection of the love, the Christ consciousness within you guys. And I would have done this live, but as you guys know, I don't have any connection out here. It's very sporadic, but I just really wanted to share that. And yesterday during the readings that Kelly and I did, I said, be thankful for that fear. No, it's an illusion. It's something that you have come to infuse with your own love and light. So that fear actually becomes your counterpart, your partner, your catalyst to connect to that light within. Because if you take fear appropriately, you say, well, why am I feeling this? What is the truth of this? Even as a tiny little girl, I always said, what is the truth of this? Because I was taught that God was love. But if God is love, he wouldn't treat us any different than we treat our children. You want to keep them safe. You want to cuddle them. You want to kiss them to death. You want life to be easy for them. Well, that is what God really is about. And that's how we should be, even with those that don't seem to be in alignment to love. It's through our love that we change them. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And God, just be thankful of your fear. Be thankful of those greatest disturbances, because it's the very thing that you've come to illuminate. And in that fear, you have so much self-empowerment to gain, guys. All right, I love you. I don't like long videos myself, but I felt I really needed to share this. And may you guys all shine with the entirety of all the light that you are, even though it's a cloudy day. I love these misty, cloudy days. It brings a different sense of connection and flow and feeling. Maybe me and Mythos will come live and do some readings after. I'll do a guidance or a paragraph when I get back. But anyways, love you guys.